Hello students. Today we are going to discuss about the you know the next topic, that is a type of chemical reaction. Okay. The video which I have sent yesterday on the Google Classroom, where we have already studied these types of chemical reactions. Okay. So I'm not going to go very detail in this topic. I'm just going to recall this topic for you. Okay, so that those who are not present for yesterday's lecture, they can just understand about these types of reactions. Okay, so there are total five types of chemical reactions, five main types of chemical reaction. Okay, where there the first type of chemical reaction is combination reaction. Okay, so the combination reaction is the reaction in which the two substances, combination reaction is the type of reaction in which two substances, that is A plus B, gives AB. Okay, A plus B gives AB. So the reaction in which two reactants reaction in which two reactants gives single product. Okay, so such type of reactions are called as combination reaction. So here um, so let's see one example of this where the combination reaction takes place. So here if you see, calcium oxide, when combines with water, it forms the calcium hydroxide. Okay, so this is a simple product. This is also simple, sorry, not a product, simple reactant. This is also simple reactant. These two simple reactant combines to form a complex substance. So this is nothing but a simple to complex reaction. Simple to complex reaction. Complex. Okay, so two simple substances combines to form a single complex substance is called as a combination reaction. So in this reaction here you can see calcium oxide reacts vigorously with the water to form a slaked lime. Okay, so here um, let us see another example. Okay, where combination reaction takes place. Okay, if you see here, carbon plus oxygen combines to form a CO2. Carbon plus oxygen combine to form a CO2. This is also an example of combination reaction. This is also an example of combination reactions. Another example is there, that is hydrogen and oxygen combines to form a water. Hydrogen gas plus oxygen gas combines to form a H2O. So this is simple substance. This is also simple substance. These two simple substances combine to form a complex substance, that is water. So this is about the combination reaction. So let us see the next point, that is uh, burning of natural gas. Another example of the combination reaction, burning of natural gas. Now if you see this CH4, it's a methane. This is a methane. So CH4, that is methane, combines with oxygen. It is nothing but a burning. It is nothing but a burning, or it is also called as combustion. Combustion means when any substance combines with oxygen, it is called as combustion reaction. So this is example of combination also as well as combustion reaction. Okay, where methane combines with oxygen to form a CO2 and H2O. So this reaction is also called as combination reaction, um, where heat is released. Okay, where heat is released. Now there are two types of reactions on the basis of whether heat is released or absorbed. Okay, so where heat is released, that is called as exothermic reaction. This is called as exothermic reaction. Here exo means out and thermic means heat. So when heat is given out, so that is called as exothermic reaction. So now in this case, if you see methane's case, CH4, that is methane, when oxidized or when gets burned, it forms CO2 H2O plus heat. Here heat is also released. So this is a exothermic reaction. Okay, so another example here, that where the energy is released is the decomposition of vegetables and matter, vegetable matter, that is organic things like vegetable peels and whatever is present in the house, which is comes under the organic category. So when it decomposes, when it gets decomposed, it produces the compost. So decomposition reaction gives rise to the compost, but in this reaction it also produces the heat. Okay, in this reaction it also produces the heat, so this is also exothermic reaction. So this is about the combination reaction and its two parts, that is exo and endothermic reaction. Now here another second type is endothermic reaction, endothermic. Okay, so what is the meaning of endo here? Endo means absorb and thermic means heat. Okay, so heat is absorbed, so simple meaning of this reaction is heat is absorbed. So the reaction in which heat is absorbed is called as endothermic reaction. So the reaction where the heat is absorbed is the type of reaction where the heat is absorbed is when you can see here, when FeSO4 when FeSO4 is heated, when FeSO4 is heated, it gives Fe2O3, SO2 and SO3. So this is where the heat is absorbed. Heat in this reaction, the heat is absorbed. So we need to heat the FeSO4. So this is called as endothermic. Endo means absorbed. Here endo means heat is absorbed. So when heat is absorbed, the reaction is called as endothermic reaction. So we have here combination reaction. So combination reactions are nothing but exothermic reaction. So generally in the combination reaction, heat energy is released. So combination reactions comes under the category of exothermic reactions, whereas the second type of reaction that we are going to discuss is decomposition reaction. These are the endothermic reactions. Okay, so what is decomposition reaction? So decomposition actually the decomposition itself means the simple to complex, complex to simple. Decomposition itself means complex to simple. A complex substance is converted into simple substance, means if you have AB is a complex substance, it combines to form A plus B. So this complex substance is converted into more simple substances, that is AB, which is a complex substance, forms the AB, that is a simple substances. These both are simple substances. So decomposition reaction is the reaction in which the one complex substance converts into simple substance. So such type of reactions in which the complex substances or single reactant broken down into many products, such reactions are called as decomposition reaction. Now let us see one example. So in this just now before some time I have given you example of FeSO4, that is ferrous sulfate. Okay, that ferrous sulfate, that is iron sulfate, which is also called as iron sulfate, when heated it absorbs the heat and gets converted into three products, that is ferric oxide, SO2 and SO3. So this is nothing but a decomposition reaction where the single product is converted into many single reactant is converted into many product. So here in this reaction, the decomposition of complex substance takes place. This is called more complex substance is converted into simpler substances. So this is the example of decomposition reaction. So in this reaction you can see that the single reactant breaks down to give a simple product. In this is a decomposition reaction, so where the ferrous sulfate crystal, that is FeSO4, loses water and gets converted into ferric oxide, and in this reaction the smell of burning sulfur. This reaction can be identified by the smell of burning sulfur. When this reaction takes place, smell of burning sulfur can be experienced. So if you see the smell of burning sulfur, then you can understand that the FeSO4, that is ferrous sulfate, is getting decomposed. Okay, another example of decomposition reaction is when calcium carbonate, not copper carbonate, when calcium carbonate is heated, it is converted into calcium oxide and CO2. So this reaction is also a decomposition reaction where complex calcium carbonate is converted into simple products. That is, one simple product is calcium oxide, another simple product is carbon dioxide. Okay, so this is about the decomposition reaction. Now decomposition reactions are of three types. Decomposition reactions are of three types of decomposition reactions we can see. So the first type of decomposition is electrolytic decomposition. When decomposition takes place by the help of electricity, electrolysis or electricity, okay, when decomposition takes place by the help of electricity, by using the electricity, then it is called as electrolytic decomposition. Okay, that is called as electrolytic decomposition. Now if you see this example here, okay, if you see this example, electrolysis of water. In this electrolysis of water, you can see that the two electrodes are taken. Okay, there is a water taken in the beaker. This is a beaker, okay, plastic mug or beaker you can take, in which two electrodes are there. One is cathode, one is anode. Okay, anode is positive electrode, cathode is negative electrode. So when these two electrodes are connected to the water, and these two electrodes are used for passing the current through this water. So when current passes, what happens? The water H2O, when electricity is passed through this, okay, H2 plus O2 gas are separated. O2 and H2 gases, both the gases are separated from liquid water. Okay, so this reaction is the electrolytic decomposition. This is the first type of decomposition, that is electrolytic decomposition. Okay, so what is electrolytic decomposition? When decomposition is carried out by the help of electricity, then it is called as decomposition reactions. Okay, decomposition reaction. Okay, the reaction that takes place, or the decomposition is carried out by electricity, then it is called as decomposition reaction. So water is the best example for this. Okay, so with the help of water, you can see when current pass through this water, the two test tubes. Now if this is the beaker, if these are the two electrodes, okay, one is positive electrode and one is negative electrode. Okay, so when this is connected to when these two wires are connected to the battery here, and these two are in covered with the these two test tubes. Okay, when we cover this with the test tube, the amount of gas collected in this, okay, in one test tube is this much, and in another test tube is this much. Means one is having, this is suppose 1 kg, so this is 2 kg. So in one test tube 1 kg gas is collected, and in another test tube 2 kg gas is collected, means exactly double. So why this is so? So if you see the formula of H2O, in which this hydrogen hydrogen is two part, whereas oxygen is one part. Two part hydrogen, two part hydrogen, and one part hydrogen is two part, oxygen is one part. Two part and one part, so amount of oxygen is one part and hydrogen is two part. So O2 collected is only one part and hydrogen is collected. You can see here the amount of gases, this is only half than this. Okay, so the gases collected in the test tube is oxygen is half and hydrogen is 1. So 2:1 ratio or 1:2 ratio by mass. Okay, so this is about the electrolytic decomposition. So if you go to the next point, there is a second type of decomposition reaction. Second type of decomposition reaction is photolytic decomposition. Photolytic. Now what is the meaning of photo? Photo means sunlight. Photo means light or sunlight, or lytic means broken down. So if you see the decomposition reaction, if it is carried out, or decomposition, if decomposition is carried out by sunlight, if decomposition is carried out by sunlight, then it is called as photolytic decomposition. Okay, then it is called as photolytic decomposition. Now if you see here, the example is given here. Okay, one example is given, AgCl, that is silver chloride. Okay, if you see the silver chloride, okay, silver chloride turns gray in sunlight. This is due to the decomposition of silver into the silver and chlorine by the light. So this silver chloride gets decomposed into two simple substances. This is a complex chemical substance which gets converted into two simple substances. So if you see here, silver chloride, it is, it turns gray because of the formation of silver. Okay, the formation of silver makes the silver chloride grayish. So this is the type of reaction where the decomposition is carried out by the help of sunlight. Similarly, if you see AgBr when exposed to sunlight, this AgBr also gets divided into Ag and Br2. So these above reactions are used in the black and white photography. Okay, black and white photography. So the silver bromide, okay, in this reaction silver bromide is converted into silver and bromine. So this is a type of photolytic decomposition. So the next point is next point is the third type of decomposition is thermal decomposition. Third type is thermal decomposition. Okay, in thermal decomposition, the decomposition is carried out by the help of heat. Thermal means heat. So when decomposition is carried out by heat, then the decomposition is called as thermal decomposition. If you see this example here, lead nitrate when heated, it turns, or it gets converted into lead oxide, that is PbO. Okay, PbO, lead oxide, nitrogen dioxide and oxygen gas. Okay, so the brown fumes, this reaction also can be identified by the help of brown fumes of nitrogen dioxide gas. When this reaction takes place, this is the example of thermal decomposition reaction where the heat carries out the decomposition. Okay, as we have seen earlier, first type of decomposition is electrolytic, where the electricity carries out the decomposition. In the second, that is photolytic, sunlight carries out the decomposition, but in the thermal decomposition, heat carries out the decomposition. So this reaction is called as thermal decomposition reactions. Now this particular reaction is very important reaction, always asked in the exam, that what will happen if lead nitrate is heated. Okay, if lead nitrate is heated, the brown fumes are released. Okay, the brown fumes are released, okay, by the formation of lead oxide and oxygen gas. Okay, the lead oxide, okay, formed, along with that brown fumes of nitrogen dioxide and oxygen gas is also released. So complex substance to simple again. So this is also a example of decomposition reaction. So this is these are the types of decomposition. There are three types of decomposition reaction as we have seen it right now. Okay, so let us go to the next point, that is displacement reaction. I'm just recalling these types of reaction as we have seen in that video. Okay, I'm just recapitulating so that those who have not seen that video, they can just understand it. Okay, so third type is displacement reaction. What? Displacement reaction. Now if you see displacement, okay, now if you see just a I'll just give you an example of reaction. Okay, AB plus C, it forms AC plus B. Now if you see, this is the compound of AB in which when C is mixed, in, okay, let me okay, just when C is mixed in AB, okay, so AB, the bond between A and B breaks down, the B is separated and A forms a bond with C. So these type of reactions are called as displacement reaction. But what is the definition of displacement reaction? When when the more reactive element, when more reactive element replaces less reactive element. Okay, when more reactive element replaces less reactive element, then such types of reactions are called as displacement reactions. Okay, such type of reactions are called as displacement reaction. Displacement reaction. So now I'll give you one example here. Okay, so first of all we must know what is the reactivity. Okay, so generally in case of metals we use the reactivity series of the metal. Now what is reactivity series? Okay, so let me see whether it is mentioned here or not. So let me give you a reactivity series. Now see, reactivity series is a vertical, reactivity series is the vertical list of the vertical column of the metals, mainly metals, where the reactivity decreases down. Okay, so as we go down the reactivity series, reactivity decreases. For example, if you see potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, lead, hydrogen. Okay, so if you go down here in this sequence, potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, Fe, Pb, okay, and hydrogen, the reactivity of the metals decreases. So potassium is the highly reactive, where hydrogen is the least reactive. So if you take an example here, okay, if you just take an example of displacement reaction, if I have a mixture of, if I take a mixture of Fe plus Fe plus CuCl2, okay, Fe plus CuCl2. So here in Fe is more reactive than copper, that is Fe is iron, Fe is more reactive than copper, so Fe will displace this copper and copper will move away. So in this reaction the new product formed will be FeCl2 plus Cu. Okay, so the reaction shown here is the displacement reaction, or it is also referred as replacement reaction. So here one bond is broken and another is formed. You can see here why it is formed, because Fe is more reactive than copper, and that's why from this copper chloride salt, Fe replaces copper and forms the ferrous chloride. Okay, so here let me give you another example on the blackboard. Okay, let me carry it to the blackboard. See, in this reaction, let me give you another example. If you have a mixture of copper sulfate, CuSO4, and if you just add some sodium in it. Okay, so as we know, sodium is more reactive than copper, so copper will be displaced, so the new product formed will be this and this. So Na will react with sulfate, Na will react with Na2SO4 plus Cu, so this will be the product. So this is the reactant and this is a product. Okay, so in this way the displacement reaction takes place. Now to understand the displacement reaction, or you should know what is reactivity series first. So I will write the reactivity series here for you. Okay, so I will just change the setting of my camera, so I'll just able to write in the single column. Okay, so for this we need to understand that the sequence of metals. Okay, so I will write something here. K, that is potassium. Now if you see, this is the sequence. Now in this sequence, if you go down like this, the reactivity decreases. Now this is a potassium, this is potassium. Okay, this is potassium, then this is sodium, then this is calcium, this is magnesium, aluminium, then zinc. Okay, then iron, then this is lead. Okay, lead, then hydrogen, then copper, then this is mercury, then this is silver, and this is Au is gold. Okay, so as we go down, the reactivity decreases, means they are highly reactive. The topmost elements in the reactivity series, they are highly reactive, and they are low reactive. So as we go down, the reactivity decreases. Okay, so the reactivity decreases from down the series. So if you take the mixture of NaCl and if I add potassium in it, so the potassium will able to displace the sodium because it is less reactive than potassium. If I take a mixture of, now I'll just delete this slide. You can just pause the video and just note it down in your notebooks. So I'll just give you an example. Okay, let me just reverse the screen. Okay, so if I take the mixture of zinc chloride and if you add calcium in it, so what will happen? Zinc is below the calcium in the reactivity series, so calcium is more reactive than the zinc, so calcium can replace the zinc to form CaCl2 plus zinc. Okay, so this will be the displacement reaction. Okay, at the end, so zinc will be replaced by calcium. So the reason is that zinc is less reactive than calcium. Calcium is on the top, zinc is below the calcium, so zinc is less reactive, so it will be replaced by calcium as it is more reactive. Okay, so here let us go to the slide again. Okay, let's move to the chapter once again. So displacement reaction. Now if you see here one example in this figure, you can see figure 1.8. you can see there is a blue color solution of copper sulfate. This is a blue color solution of copper sulfate. Copper sulfate is always blue. Okay, so blue color copper sulfate is added with the, this is the iron nail. Okay, iron. So the reaction that will take place here is Fe plus CuSO4. It will give rise, so Fe will displace the Cu and it will form FeSO4 plus Cu. So these are the products. Okay, so Fe is more reactive than copper, so copper will be displaced by the Fe. So this is the displacement reaction. So in the displacement reaction, always remember that the, you can see here, iron nails and copper sulfate, you can see here in this you can understand easily that iron nails are before iron nail was looking like this, after iron nail is looking like this because of the coating of copper on it. Okay, when displacement reaction takes place on the iron surface, the grayish the color of the iron nail changes to gray, or the copper is coated on it, so the color of the iron nail changes, but the solution color also changes. The copper sulfate is blue, but the color of the copper sulfate changes to uh, you know um, lemon green because of the formation of iron sulfate in it. So this is the displacement reaction. Now if you see here, one example is given: Fe plus CuSO4, Fe plus CuSO4 gives FeSO4 plus Cu. So iron sulfate formed in this reaction. If you see zinc, and when react with copper sulfate, it forms a zinc sulfate and copper. Lead, when react with CuCl2, it forms a lead sulfate and lead chloride and copper. So in these reactions, lead is more reactive, zinc is more reactive than CuSO4, Fe is more reactive than CuSO4. So the displacement reaction takes place. Now in this category, we have one more type of reaction that is called as double displacement reaction. Now what is the meaning of double displacement reaction? Okay, so double displacement reaction is the reaction in which, okay, it's not like in a single displacement reaction, more reactive elements was replacing the less reactive element, but in the double displacement reaction, what happens, the displacement of ion takes place. Okay, displacement of ion takes place. Now if you see this Na2SO4, in Na2SO4 there are two ions, Na plus SO4 2 minus. Okay, and in barium chloride there are two ions, Ba2 plus Cl1 minus. So this is cation, this is cation, this is anion, this is anion. Okay, now Na will react with this cation will react with the anion of this, and this anion will react with the cation of this. So if you combine these two, the product will be NaCl. The product will be, the one product will be NaCl, and another product will be BaSO4. So generally these reactions are called as the ions are exchanged here, these reactions are called as ion exchange reactions. Okay, so double displacement reactions can be easily defined as the reaction in which exchange of ion takes place, exchange of ions takes place. So such reactions are called as double displacement reaction. Now if you see here the reaction, Na2SO4, that is sodium sulfate combined with barium chloride to form a barium sulfate and sodium chloride. Generally in this reaction, this solid substance form, you can see here S is written. Okay, S means solid substance. So solid means a semi-solid substance is formed here in these reactions. So such type of reactions are also called as precipitation reaction. What these are also called as precipitation reaction. Just remember this very important point, that double displacement reaction are also called as precipitation reaction. Now why it is called precipitation reaction? Because of this is precipitation reaction. Why it is called? Because formation of precipitate means semi solid substance. Precipitate means semi solid substance. So here the precipitate is barium sulfate. You can see here S means semi solid substance is formed. So such reactions are called as. Now you can see here when sodium sulfate, okay, is seen, sodium sulfate can be filtered and separated. It means that it is solid. So such reactions are called as double displacement reaction. Okay, So let us go to the next point, that is oxidation and reduction. Okay, it's a very important type. Okay, again, a very important type of reaction. Okay, so oxidation means, what is the meaning of oxidation? What is the meaning of oxidation reaction? Oxidation reaction. So oxidation is nothing but addition of oxygen, addition of, in simple term, if you want to define the oxidation reaction, it is nothing but addition of oxygen. So this is nothing but um, oxidation reaction. Now if you see this, let me give you some example. Okay, here, so here, if you just take an example of C, that is carbon plus oxygen, it gives CO2. What happened here? In the carbon, oxygen is added. So addition of oxygen is nothing but oxidation reaction. Let me give you another example. If you see Mg, that is magnesium, when burned in air, it combines with oxygen to form MgO. So this is also an example of oxidation. These are both example of oxidation reaction. These are both are the examples of oxidation reaction. Okay, so let me give you another definition. So oxidation is nothing but addition of oxygen. So another definition of oxidation reaction is loss of electron. Loss of electron. Now what does it mean? Oxidation also means the loss of electron. See, for example, if you just take this one, magnesium, if it loses 2 electrons, so what happened? Mg leads to Mg2 plus. How Mg turn into Mg2 plus? By losing these 2 electrons. So here also we can say that Mg is oxidized. Mg is oxidized. So this reaction is also called as oxidation reaction. Okay, this is also called as oxidation reaction. So oxidation is nothing but the addition of, oxidation is nothing but, just a moment, oxidation is nothing but addition of oxygen. Okay, this is one definition. Second is, oxidation is also referred as loss of electron. Okay, so these both are the correct definitions of the oxidation reaction. So this is nothing but the oxidation. So let us move to the next point, that is okay, that is, let's go to the next point, that is reduction. Now what does it mean? Okay, what is the meaning of reduction first? Okay, so reduction is nothing but reduction. Okay, reduction. So reduction means, as in the oxidation, oxygen was added, in the reduction oxygen is removed. Oxygen is removed. If oxygen is removed, then the reaction is called as reduction reaction. Now another definition also can be referred, that is gain of electron. Gain of electron. As oxidation was loss of electron, reduction is gain of electron. I'll give you an example, that if you see the chlorine, when chlorine gets an electron, it forms Cl minus. So chlorine became Cl minus. So what happened here? Electrons are gained. And if electrons are gained, that means the reduction takes place. What takes place? Reduction takes place. So reduction is nothing but removal of oxygen, or removal of oxygen, or loss of electron. Both are referred as reduction reactions. Okay, so let us take an example of these two. Okay, first of all we'll see the oxidation reaction. When copper is heated, it becomes copper oxide. So when copper is heated in presence of air, so copper turns a black color. Okay, and that is because of the formation of copper oxide on its surface. And in this reaction, copper is added to the oxygen is added to the copper. So this is nothing but a, the oxidation reaction. So now if hydrogen gas is passed over this heated material, the black coating of the surface turns brown as the reverse reaction takes place and the copper is obtained. Okay, now in this copper oxide, now if you see, one important point is, in this copper oxide, if from this copper oxide, if hydrogen is passed, this hydrogen gas is passed over the copper oxide, the copper is separated, and the hydrogen is added to the water. Okay, sorry, oxygen is added with the hydrogen. So here the reaction, if you see here, now oxidation can be defined in one more way. As I told you the definition of oxygen: addition of oxygen, loss of electron. So one more definition can be also correct, that is removal of hydrogen. Removal of hydrogen. So oxidation can be one more way can be defined, that is removal of hydrogen. If hydrogen is removed, then also it is oxidation. So in this reaction, if you see, both the things are taking place. Now if you see the copper oxide, when treated with the hydrogen gas, if you see, Cu and H2 is formed. So Cu turns to Cu, that means the oxygen is removed. Oxygen is removed. As oxygen is removed, O2 is removed. Okay, that means it is reduction. Okay, it is reduction. If you see another thing, that in the hydrogen, this hydrogen is converted into H2O. So there is a addition of hydrogen, oxygen in the hydrogen. So H turns H2O, that means hydrogen is converted into H2O. So hydrogen has turned into H2O because of the addition of oxygen. So this reaction is called as addition reaction. Okay, this oxidation reaction. Okay, so both in this particular reaction, both oxidation and reduction takes place together. So this is called as redox reaction. Okay, the mixture of both, that is oxidation and reduction. Here red means reduction, ox means oxidation. So redox reactions are nothing but the reaction in which oxidation and reduction taking place together. Okay, so here a few more examples are given here. Okay, see some other example of redox reaction. If you see here, zinc plus carbon turns zinc oxide plus carbon turns zinc and carbon dioxide. So here zinc oxide is losing its oxygen, so it gets reduced. Zinc oxide plus carbon turn into zinc plus carbon monoxide. So this is your reduction and this is your oxidation. So if you see this one, this will be called as reduction and this will be called as oxidation. Okay, this will be called as oxidation. So oxidation and reduction taking place simultaneously, then it is called as a redox reaction. Now if you see this MnO2, that is manganese dioxide, when combined with the hydrochloric acid, that is when manganese dioxide treated with the hydrochloric acid, forms MnCl2 plus H2O plus Cl2. Now if you see this one, in this reaction, manganese dioxide turn into manganese chloride. So as manganese loses electron, it is reduced. it is reduced. Okay, reduced means itself get reduced. Okay, and it oxidizes the hydrogen here. Now if you see this reaction in HCl, if you see this HCl, in HCl hydrogen is there, so hydrogen is mixed with the oxygen to form a water, so HCl get oxidized, MnO2 get reduced. Okay, now here very important thing is that two things are mainly asked in the exam, that what is oxidizing agent and what is reducing agent. So in this reaction MnO2, when MnO2 is oxidizing agent, MnO2 is oxidizing agent. So what is the meaning of oxidizing agent? Oxidizing agent is the substance which provides the oxygen. Substance that provides the oxygen is called oxidizing agent, and itself get reduced. Okay, ऑक्सीडाइजिंग एजेंट खुद reduce हो जाता है, दूसरों को ऑक्सीडाइज करता है. So here oxidizing agent is the one who provides the oxygen, and reducing agent, this HCl is the reducing agent. HCl is the reducing agent, the one who reduces other. The substance that removes the oxygen is called as reducing agent, and reducing agent get oxidized. Itself get oxidized. Reducing agent itself get oxidized, and oxidizing itself get reduced. Okay, so here very important thing is that four things are asked. Okay, generally they will give you reaction and they will ask, suppose this reaction is given, and they will ask you to identify first thing, that what is oxidizing agent. Second thing, they will ask you to identify what is reducing agent. Third thing they will ask you to identify is substance oxidized, and fourth thing they will ask you to identify that substance reduced. Okay, so oxidizing agent, reducing agent, substance oxidized, substance reduced. So if this is the reaction, in this reaction this one MnO2 is the oxidizing agent, HCl is the reducing agent. Okay, substance oxidizes this, substance oxidized. Substance reduced is substance reduced, who the oxidizing agent itself get reduced, reducing agent itself gets oxidized. So this is a very important thing that you should know, that what is the oxidizing agent and what is reducing agent. Okay, so students, this was the recapitulation of the topic that we have seen yesterday on the Google Classroom. I hope this is clear for everyone. Okay, so we will stop here and we will continue in the next period. Okay, thank you.